More and more LED manufacturers are emerging. A mix of good and bad LED grow lights arise in the market. So today we are going to introduce various LED manufacturers. Then you'll know why Mars Hydro should be your choice.
Let's take a look at the current situation of the LED grow light market. There are three kinds of manufacturers: OEM, IITE, TM. First, some manufacturers produce finished products in China and then rebrand and ship locally. We call them OEM. OEMs are divided into top OEMs and cheap OEMs based on their quality management. The other kind of manufacturers who develop and produce their own products and also sell and trade like Mars Hydro, we call them IITE. And third, the last group of manufacturers have no official name, no manufacturing address or license. Most sell on Alibaba. We call them TM. They barely have any quality control, and never to mention after-sale service. Price is an important but not decisive factor in purchase decisions. Low price doesn't mean low material cost. High price doesn't mean high quality. The top OEMs usually have the best quality control in the market. As a result, the prices are the highest as well. A customer often have to pay a price of twice or even 3 times of the original product just for the brand. Even the OEMs on the cheap side charge an additional 50 to 100% to the actual production price. In comparison, IITE offers much more affordable pricing thanks to their factory outlet. There are no extra third factory cost or middleman to raise prices. Good quality control is often a guarantee since they are the owner of the factory. TM, or temporary manufacturers, often have the lowest price and the lowest quality. The quality of a grow light can be judged by its components, core specs, and security certifications. Diode is the most important part of any LED grow light. The top OEMs use high-quality diodes from Samsung or Osram to guarantee high yield and longevity. But some OEMs still use cheap diodes to save cost. IITE use the same top-tier quality diodes as used by the top OEMs to support high-quality grow. The temporary manufacturers often use the cheapest diodes they can find in the market and sometimes defect Samsung diodes. Now let's talk about the Samsung chips and how good they actually are. Samsung 3030 chip series. For 301H, it has 230 luminae per watt, and the PPE is 3.1 micromole per joule. The 301B has 220 luminae per watt, and the PPE is 2.92 micromole per joule. And for 301D, it has 211 luminae per watt, and the PPE is 2.7 micromole per joule. For Samsung 2835 chip series, the luminae is less than 210 per watt. And here's the conclusion. The best diode is 301H, and then 301B, then 301D, and they are all better than 2835. A well-designed power supply provides efficient and stable power while avoiding heat issues and saving energy. The top OEMs use high-quality power supply brands and separate external power supply design. The cheap OEM would keep the separate external power supply design, but some use inferior brands. IITE use high-quality power supply from brands like Meanwhile, while also keeping external power supply design. The temporary manufacturers use the inferior power supplies which can cause fire hazard. The second factor of product quality is its core data, like the quantity of the diodes and PPFD design. When explaining diode quantity, the concept of overdrive comes into play. Generally speaking, when the voltage of the whole light is determined, the heat and electric current is determined as well.
An example appears in the video, which you can see briefly. The one with more diodes has lower current to run each diode, which avoid overdrive and overheating to make diodes have longer service life. Diode quantity should be seen on manufacturer's official sites. You can find them and compare them by yourself.
Top OEMs are with reasonable diode quantity and arrangement, no overdrive. Cheap OEMs use the same arrangement but much less diodes to cut the cost. This makes them vulnerable to overdrive. IITE use reasonable diode quantity and arrangement. There's little risk of overdrive, and their data is clear for everyone to see. A TM would try to mimic the appearance of high-end products, but their core data is simply false, and their products are very vulnerable to overdrive. Most grow lights in the market have a high level of average PPFD or PPE, and most of them have high PPFD values in the middle, but very low values around. As a result, plants in the middle gets burned. If you hang it higher to avoid burns, you lose PPF.
Here's a list of estimated PPFD values for commercial cannabis growers. For vegetative stage, there should be 800 to 1000 PPFD, while flowering stage should have 1000 to 1200 PPFD. Anything over 1200 PPFD, your cannabis will need the help of additional CO2, but the highest PPFD cannot exceed 1500. Therefore, only grow lights with PPFD values that are higher than 800 at all points but does not exceed 1500 are the best choice for commercial growing.
The OEMs usually have the most typical PPFD designs and very good numbers, but their PPFD are overly centered in the middle. This uneven light distribution may reduce your yield potential, because the plant in the middle cannot absorb all the light, while the plants in the surrounding don't get enough. IITE has a better design. Both the central PPFD value and the corner PPFD value are in the best interval, and the difference is small. Uniform PPFD distribution is changing the market. Temporal manufacturers ignore the light distribution and actual efficiency of the light by just copying other products' appearance. Some growers may prefer lights with UV and IR diodes, but do they really matter that much as we think? Not really, because as you can see, UV and IR are only beneficial under the right circumstances. For some stages of growth, UV has no positive effects to your plants. In fact, excessive amounts of UV light can even harm your plants. Infrared or IR light can be used continuously throughout all the growing stages. However, if you are sure you want to use IR light on your plants, keep one thing in mind. The correct ratio of the amount of IR light and red light is very important, so our suggestion is to use extra bars to control UV and IR separately with full spectrum LED grow light. This is how you can get the real benefits of UV and IR. Certifications provide a safety assurance for the products you buy, and transparent data offers no gap between merchants and buyers. OEMs are well certificated, but rarely publish their data. IITE are well certificated as well and offer transparent core data because they are the factory themselves. Temporary manufacturers usually have no certifications or fake certifications along with fake data. Customer support is important to any companies. Quality service can make buyers worry-free. OEMs have local warehouse and service center, which ensure a fast delivery and after-sales support, but over time, they may exit the market, so their service guarantee sometimes is not reliable. IITE has local warehouse and service center as well, and because they are the factory themselves, they will not easily change the products they make and sell. They are also easily to be found on social media by official accounts. TM, as we mentioned before, is just a temporary manufacturer. They have no local warehouse or service center. If they face too many customer complaints, they will simply give up their brand and choose a new different brand name to start over. So their warranty information are very unreliable. Finally, we come to a conclusion. When you invest in an LED grow light, the return of investment and the service are all you need to concern about. OEM has two versions. The top OEMs have good product quality, grow results, and service, but due to high product prices, the overall return on investment is low. Cheap OEMs have better prices, but their product quality and service are not as good. In general, they both tend to take advantage of their brand effect and charge a premium on the customers. IITE has good product quality, grow results, and service as well. Due to factory direct sale, the prices are very good, cost-effective choice. Temporary manufacturers, low quality, low yields, no after-sales guarantee. They use the cheapest material they can find in the market to produce you inferior quality products. Better stay away.